a system approaching perfection.
We'll walk deeper into the belly of the beast if it means I'm able to further limit risk.
All right, man, this is Danny here at the Crypto Show, and I'm talking with some dude that I met in here. What's your name again? Oh, yeah, this is Jeff Berwick from the Dollar Vigilante, and he lives in the most oppressive state in the world. Or no, he's visiting the most oppressive state in the world. But he's from Acapulco, sort of. He's kind of Canadian, kind of a lot of things. But lately, you've been a lot of anarchy going on in Mexico, the most dangerous place on the planet.
Yeah, it's super dangerous. Really recommend never go to Mexico.
Never, ever go to Mexico.
I was just there yesterday, and you can buy anything you want.
I was there a couple of days ago, and you know, I got pulled over, and damn cop asked me for money. And I told him I don't have any money. He goes, "Well, how much can you pay me?" I said, "I don't have any money." Okay, I'll see you later.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough down there. You know, sometimes you have to take the cop to a bar and buy him a beer, and then you have a really nice afternoon. You know, it's way better up here, because up here you get like a SWAT team, and you have a taillight that doesn't work, and you might die. I know, yeah. So here, the SWAT team will come in your house and just wreck shit, right? Kill your dog.
But now I got pulled over in Mexico in Morelos, right? And the SWAT team came in my motorhome here, and so it was two guys with guns, and then another guy with a machine gun. So there's three of them.
They're trying to kill Dash?
No.
Where's Dash?
No, they wanted to take selfies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the cops boarded my motorhome.
Not surprised.
To take selfies.
Not
surprised. Like, oh, awesome! This is this is fun. Hey, we want to take selfies too. And they're like, no, you can't take selfies. You'll get us in trouble. But for some reason, they wanted selfies. And then, like, right down the road, I crossed the state into Puebla after the toll road, and another cop pulls me over. Well, this one, he wants me to smuggle gun belts from the U.S. He goes, "Hey, man, do you know where Academy is? Have you ever heard of Academy?" And I'm like, yeah. Can you get a Pantera gun belt for me? I'm like,
what?
Yeah.
All this stuff? Awesome.
He took my phone number and everything.
Watching,
he wants me to buy.
Si estás escuchando, hablamos con nosotros. Don't be a cop anymore. Come on, man. Right. You're so close to being a good person.
Yeah, but it just for me, I get the red carpet from them because I tell them what we're doing, and you know, and they're like, "Oh, wow."
Hey, we're trying to get rid of government.
Yeah, and so
they like it.
So we get treated pretty good by the police, but. Acapulco has taken off, and it's going crazy. Like, you know, each year I've been to every one of them, and each year it's grown, it's doubled each year, and this year it's probably tripled?
Almost tripled.
It almost tripled this year. What about the Liberty conferences in the U.S., man? They're doing pretty good, right?
Well, I don't know what to think about it, but I was at United We Stand last week. Mm-hmm. You weren't there, I don't think.
No, I wasn't.
It's weird because I see you at almost every conference, but you weren't at that one. There was like 8 people there, and it was like a conference on free and equal elections. So in a way, I was glad no one showed up. It's like, yeah, screw elections, screw selection, right. Screw democracy. But that's not the reason they didn't show up. It's the reason they didn't show up is sort of the same reason here a little bit. I don't know what's happening in the U.S. It's almost like, I don't want to say like a magical spell, but there's some like people have just, I'm sensing in the last year, just disconnecting. They're just like not even trying anymore. It's just like,
but it's really, what's really weird is it's the same people who would have came here are going to Acapulco.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. But there's something obviously going on. There's literally 8 people here. There was 8 people last week. You go to Acapulco, there's thousands of people.
I left.
Like obviously, Acapulco is awesome. That's like just, you know, we already know that. But like, why is no one coming to these other events right now? I actually don't have an explanation.
Like completely. All you have to, if you put Bitcoin or blockchain in it, every ticket sells. Like
right.
You know, you don't have enough room for everybody if you say it's blockchain. So maybe they should call it a Blockchain Liberty Conference or something to get people in. Because I literally left this event last night to go to another event in LA. And it was like a meetup. Somebody had a grand opening of what was called the crypto space. This was like a co-working space for cryptocurrencies. It was packed, man. There was like 100 people there. I'm like, man. I'm glad I came here because it was boring as shit over there at that other one.
You know, I don't know how to explain, but there's something going on here. There's just, I feel like it's like this, you know, the calm before the storm. I don't know how to explain it, but there's something in the air here. And you can't explain it just with these two events. Obviously, these could just be anomalies. They didn't market it properly or whatever. But I'm sensing there's something going on here, and we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's like no one cares. Maybe it's
like a disconnection. Completely.
Well, and the whole libertarian party. It's like, oh my God, these guys are as much of a joke as the other two jokes.
Oh yeah, in the U.S., like everything gets screwed up here. It's so weird. Like in Canada, we know. Do you know Tim Moen? He's the leader of the Libertarian Party there.
No.
He was at Anarchapulco this year. He's a total anarcho-capitalist. Most of the people who ran for the Libertarian Party are all anarchists. Yeah. You go to the U.S. and it's like Bill Weld, and he's like, vote for Hillary. It's like, what's going on?
Your former Republican. But at least Ron Paul made quite a few anarchists. I mean, how many anarchists do you see at these things who weren't former either delegates or just supporters of Ron Paul?
Well, you know my show Anarchast, and I always ask, how did you become an anarchist? I haven't added them up, but I think he's pretty much number one, Ron Paul. Yeah. And then it's like Ayn Rand, which has been less and less lately, and
less and less want to admit it. Right?
I don't know. It seems like that's fading a little bit. It used to be really big, like 5 or 10 years ago. I don't know what's going on. Like again, if you ask me who I am or what I do, I mostly just feel the vibe. I'm not all that intellectual. I'm not Jeffrey Tucker. I'm not all that smart or anything, but
me either. I can my son checks my email for me.
I asked my daughter how to use Instagram yesterday. I'm like, how do you check your messages on Instagram? She's like, papa, So I'm not that smart or anything. I guess if there's one thing you could say about me is, if you look at my life, I tend to get ahead of trends. I tend to see where things are going, and it's mostly because I just feel, and I don't know, I have this weird feeling about the U.S. right now. And I don't mean to jinx the U.S. or I hope no ill will, I hope nothing bad happens here, but there's something just as this weird kind of calm before the storm feeling I'm getting.
Maybe it's that they just feel like, what's the point? We get it now. There's no need to go to that.
It could be that too. That's what I was kind of saying in my talk today. It's like, maybe in a good way, people are just like, yeah, well, we know. Yeah. We don't need to go there. And, thanks to the internet. Yeah. And I made that point too. Like, you really don't. Like, I feel that way as well. Like, the only reason at Anarchapulco that I think is a good reason to go, it's on the beach and people have a lot of fun when they're not at the conference. But otherwise, why even bother going to a lot of these things? Right. You can just watch it on your phone from home, right?
I think what it may be is that, again, here they're thinking, what's the point? But there, you're in another country, and in the back of their mind, they want to evacuate the state, as you say. Yeah. So maybe that's what it is.
Well, someone made a joke, because I've spoken twice at two freedom-related conferences in the U.S. that had no people, and people are like, someone made a joke on Facebook today. He's like, well, he was actually living in Mexico. He's like, all of us anarchists who lived in the U.S., we all left already. I'm like, oh, that's why.
That's why they all go to Anarchapulco or whatever.
And I can't blame them, and you can't blame them, can you? Right?
No.
From what you see.
I love it. For the last 6 months, I've lived in all around Mexico and all around the world, kind of.
It's freer almost everywhere else, right?
What about like Liberland and stuff like that? There were some events there. Were those well attended?
Yes, they were. Liberland's going amazing. I've been shocked, and I cannot believe how well it's going. Yeah. I helped President Vichelika get into the United Nations through some contacts I had. Not that I have status contacts, but I knew someone who knew some people there, and they were really open to it. And he's been in meetings, and I don't want to say too much, or I don't want to get people's hopes up too much, but it looks like it's really close to being accepted or recognized as a country. And if it does, it will be the first truly anarcho-capitalist country that's ever been tried, with completely voluntary taxes, which means that they're not really taxes, right? It's a way of paying into the business of Liberland.
It's tipping.
Yeah, it's really interesting. We're going to see how all these things play out in real life if this actually comes into fruition, and I think it will. Yeah. There's so many amazing things going on. We were talking about that inside. It's like, there's no one here, but this is the most amazing time in freedom in our lifetime. It's nothing even comes close.
Maybe it's good. Maybe it's good that no one's coming to this.
I made that point. Maybe it's good.
Because money is freedom.
Right.
You know,
maybe they're all making money.
So that's why they're all like, well,
they're all
I'm not going to waste my money on. I'm not going to waste my money on Libertopia when I can go to a blockchain conference or something.
Or maybe they're just busy creating their own companies about cryptocurrencies. They're like, oh, yeah, that's basically me. Like, I would never, if I was not involved in these conferences, go to them because, like, I'm busy with my own stuff, right?
Right.
So maybe that's what's happening. Who knows? Like, I'm not sure exactly what's happening, but there's something going on. There's something changing
if you're not,
here.
like, if you're listening to this and you're not using cryptocurrency, you should definitely look into it. Because,
oh God. Yeah, please. It's 2018.
I worked, I still have a business, a roofing business, and that's my dollar business.
Did you break your back this year yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't been on a roof in over a year now.
Probably good.
And I have customers calling me all the time. Hey man, can you come and look at my roof? I'm like, well, I'm kind of busy. I'm in Bogota right now. I'm sorry. Then they'll call me a month later. I'm Colorado, man. I'm in Mexico. I'm here. I'm there. I'm sorry. Well, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do this for you. But so 100% of my income at this point is cryptocurrency, and I just love it. Absolutely love it. Nobody that I know of died in the mining or minting of those coins.
Dying in mining,
no one that I know of died minting those coins, but I'm pretty sure that like all of the dollars that were issued were probably ran through the Defense Department first to kill somebody before they're generated back into the public for everyone else to use.
Not that there's anything wrong with cocaine, but it's so funny when they attack Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you know what they use those dollars for, right? Arms sales, all drug transactions. There's anything wrong with
that's the bad thing. No, that is the bad thing about Bitcoin is if the grid goes down, what are we going to do?
Totally. That's what the gold bugs always bring up.
Yeah.
And they're totally right. If the grid goes down, Bitcoin's over.
Well, yeah, but what if...
Although there is some people who say you can do Bitcoin with like a notepad and a calculator.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm not using Bitcoin if I have to do that.
It would be, I think it would be pretty simple. I think it would be pretty simple because not that many transactions had transact, so there's not all that much to calculate. But by the same...
I'll use gold and silver, thank you.
Well, what would happen to the dollar if the grid went down? Because only 7 to 8% of the dollar is in paper and coin. The rest is digital. So I think your argument just kind of went out the window.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's hilarious when people attack Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies if the grid goes down. Well, yes, there will be those paper notes still, but the entire system...
They're all in the marijuana dispensaries. No one else has them.
I've been to so many countries in the last few years where they have no currency, like they're just running out. India, Zimbabwe, I was just there. And this is on purpose, by the way. This is to get everyone into electronic, digital, centrally controlled currency, which some people seem to think that Bitcoin and all these other cryptocurrencies are a plot by the New World Order. No, there's two sides to every technology, just like the internet, right? The internet could be used for good or bad. Every technology could be used for good or bad. Right. Guns could be used for good or bad. Same way with cryptocurrencies, but a lot of people just, it's all a government creation. No. It's one of the only ways we have a chance to stop this New World Order statism.
I'm hoping that more governments will create cryptocurrencies, and here's why. So let's look at the petro, right? Okay. So Venezuela makes the petro. Now everybody in Venezuela needs to use the petro to have government services if they need to buy property taxes or all these other things. So Venezuela just did the best marketing campaign for cryptocurrency that could ever happen. They just told everybody that needs to use any type of government service, hey, there's this thing called cryptocurrency. Right. And now they're looking into it. And
then once they have the petro, they can easily go into Bitcoin or Dash or whatever they want, right?
Well,
so the gateway's open.
Well, now they know that it exists. Right. And just over the last month, there's been an explosion of Dash. Like in the past couple of weeks, I think there's another 100 people that are accepting Dash in the Caracas area. and they're looking at maybe having 1,000 more over the next month or so. So thank you, government, for free advertising.
And you haven't asked me, but you might be surprised to know that I actually consider Dash to be one of the top cryptos at the moment. And the reason is, and I said this in my Dollar Vigilante newsletter, you can get it at dollarvigilante.com/subscribe, as never stop selling.
Hell yeah.
Anarcho-capitalist, not ashamed. But I actually said about a month or two ago, and I said, I'm seeing Dash everywhere because of the marketing plan of Dash. I'm into poker big time. I watch so many poker podcasts. Like when I'm not doing finance, when I'm not doing girls, I'm doing poker. And I watch all the poker podcasts. They're almost all sponsored by Dash now. I'm like, holy cow, they're like getting out there to the public, which is exactly what we need. And when I first heard about Dash, I heard they're going to give a certain percentage of all mined coins to a marketing sort of a plan. I was like, that's pretty freaking smart, because that's probably the only thing that's missing with all the others, Bitcoin or whatever. They don't have a marketing department, right?
And then the next thing you know, some crazy asshole's giving you some Dash.
For EOS, by the way.
No, I gave you your first Dash.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
When was that? Oh, about a year and a half
a year
ago?
and a half ago.
I actually bought Darkcoin.
Oh, before
that was Dash before Darkcoin, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember where I bought it. I don't know where it is, but I remember buying it.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah.
I gotta look into it. It's gotta be worth a lot now.
Well, yeah.
But I remember that because it wasn't that Cody Wilson involved with that.
No, that's Dark Wallet.
Oh, okay,
See,
I'm getting a little confused in my old age.
Dash
it's
was
the Alzheimer's.
The original name for Dash was Xcoin, and then immediately changed to Darkcoin. And
I remember
buying
Darkcoin.
Yeah, their marketing.
I don't know where it is.
Their marketing, advisor or whatever said that it's kind of scary. We won't be able to go mainstream if we stick with that. So how about digital cash? And so the name Dash that's where Dash is.
I remember buying
cash.
Darkcoin. I have to find out where I put it. Is it like, so it's basically like that, like it changed names, right?
Yeah, it just changed names. It's
I must
the
have
same
bought
coin.
it at like a penny.
Oh my God. Well,
I gotta.
You gotta find that wallet.
To-do list.
Yeah, go look. If anyone knows how to hack
remember
Dash,
buying it. Where did I buy it?
Or if you can hack Jeff, help him find it.
Hack me. I don't care.
Help him find his dark
I don't
coin.
care. I don't care. A lot of people they say you just tell everyone what you're doing, where you live. It's like, I don't care. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
If you come to my house, you're probably gonna have a bad time. There's a number of chihuahuas. So
yeah, they will bite you. Do not run through Jeff's house. That little bastard will bite you.
The chihuahuas are the worst. That's just the first stage. Then you get to the boxer.
I ran from your thing out to get my microphones out of the car, and your dog chased me.
And this is a friend coming into my house. He barely survived. And there's more security measures once you get past that. You're welcome to try them.
You mentioned EOS. Where do you see EOS going? I see a lot of hype behind it, and it's Dan Larimer, and everything that he's touched so far has been pretty successful. Is it just because it's Dan Larimer, or is there something else behind it that you think EOS is going to go forward with?
When I first got into EOS, it was around $1.50, and it went down to 50 cents right after, and everyone's like, Jeff Berwick scammer, fraud. Anyway, I don't read the comments too much anymore, or care. But I was really a hunch, because it's funny, because a lot of people out there, totally honest information here. For example, I've been a big supporter of Bitcoin Cash, and people are like, you're in bed with Roger Ver.
Yeah.
It's like, well, he's not that good looking, first of all. I'm not in bed with him.
And it's not even his his coin.
And
he's not the owner of it. He just owns some.
Right. And if people can see, I barely know the guy. Like, I know him. Yeah. Like, he comes to our conference, we shake hands. Like, I've barely even talked. I just recognized there was a problem with the Bitcoin there, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people have all these misconceptions about me, but when it came to EOS, I was like, well, Steam really surprised me. I was really, when I found out about it, I was like, how's this possible? And then I was like, it can't last too much longer. It's been lasting for years now, and it's really working well. And as soon as I recognized the genius behind it, I was like, well, who did it? Dan Larimer. And I've actually interviewed him, and he's a total ANCAP. You go up a total step.
Yeah.
When you're like, you're boosted up way higher in my books. And then I look into everything he's doing, and he actually started BitShares before Steam.
Right.
Like, this guy's been like a genius behind cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Like, he's almost like You know, the
I don't know about
Satoshi
right now, but I know at one point BitShares had the majority of the transactions in cryptocurrency. They had like double the amount of transactions.
Steam right now does, right? So Satoshi Nakamoto is at the top, and we don't know who that is. And even if I knew, I wouldn't tell you, and I don't. Then it's pretty quick. Vitalik Buterin, Dan Larimer.
Yeah.
So he, you know, when I recognize that, and then I'm like, okay, he's starting something new, and it's getting like $1 billion put into it that he can use to do what he wants to build. It was just a total gut feeling. When I first found out about it, I was like, buy EOS. And I did, and a lot of people made a lot of money. I'm so happy for that. Where it goes from here, we're going to see, but I am not disappointed in any way from what I've seen. Like, every week they're putting out stuff, and it's like, holy cow, these guys are next level shit. You know, like way beyond your average coin.
Same with like Cardano's pretty.
I don't even know what
I
don't even know what they do, actually, to be honest.
Cardano's another.
I was just like, EOS,
similar.
that's he's an ANCAP. I don't care what anyone else is doing. I want to see what's going on. Plus, he's already done it 2 times, like I said, Steam and BitShares. So
I think it's ironic that he's using ERC20 to
it
be
is a little bit ironic. Let's get the Alanis Morissette. Put it on. It's a little bit ironic. It is a little bit ironic, but next month they'll be on their own.
Awesome.
Right? So we'll see what happens. It could totally implode. I don't know. This is the world we live in. This is beautiful. This is free market. EOS could be gone a year from now. It could totally just screw up, or it could be worth $1 trillion. Like, this is where we live now.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
You mentioned on stage. You mentioned block producers. What?
Oh, yes.
What is a block producer?
Well, I'm not a technical guy, and you tried to get me to talk about it on stage. But basically, if you look at Steam, they have 21 witnesses. So those are the miners. You don't know this, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, I know about the witnessing. Yeah.
Okay. So EOS is, from what I understand, quite similar. So there's going to be a certain amount of miners, what are called block producers with EOS. And actually, I'm working with a number of, I haven't announced it yet, I won't announce it publicly yet, but I'm going to Bangladesh, I'll probably announce it there, who I'm working with to become a block producer for EOS. And basically, I just want to get involved. I see the total potential of what EOS is doing, and now I could be totally wrong. And
so block producer is basically kind of a proof of stake mining algorithm.
It's the miners.
You're the miners.
Yeah.
Is there a limitation on how many people can actually do this, or?
I don't know with EOS. I'm going to sound like an idiot if I say a number, but I know with Steam, when I looked into it, I believe it was 21. It might be 21 with EOS.
I've heard 21.
Yeah. I don't know why he picked that number. And some people will say, well, it's kind of centralized. But if you look at actual Bitcoin miners, the big ones, how many are there? 4, 5?
Yeah, not that many.
Yeah, right? So the question of centralization gets a little weird because
if you're a guy who has an ASICs machine and it's on a pool, you're not a miner, you're a hasher. You know, that's all you're not.
You're just a hasher.
You don't get.
You're a miner. Get out of here.
Yeah, you're just a guy digging the hole.
Get out of here.
You're not. You're not making any decisions. You don't get to decide.
Right. Yeah. So it's kind of like that. I have quite a bit of faith or trust in what Dan Larimer. So I'm not a technical person. I'll say that outright. A lot of people criticize me that on Bitcoin Cash. They're like, you don't know how it all works. I'm like, you're right. But why can't you increase it from 1 megabyte to 2 megabytes?
Right.
Just to make it work.
Yeah, until you can figure out how to make it work. I'm like a common sense
guy. I'm not a technical guy, but I've never heard a good answer to that. Yeah. They're like, well, if we go to 2 megabytes, one floppy disk to 2 floppy disks.
Dash already actually did that. It took them 24 hours to say, wait a minute, I think we should probably increase the block size. Yeah, that's a great idea. All right. Well, our battery died there, but anyway,
we were
trying to. That was I guess a signal from the gods telling us we need to wrap that shit up.
I always pay attention to signals. It's true, actually. I never paid attention. Like a lot of people do that. Some hippies do it all the time, and it's like, whatever. Yeah. But now it's like, oh, why did that turn off right now? Like, there's almost always a reason.
Maybe we're okay. You know what? The reason why it turned off is because if you want to know what a block producer does, you need to go to the internet and figure it out your damn self.
Yeah, just fucking Google.
Yeah. So
stop
anyway,
asking us. What are you asking us for?
Anarchast. What are all the taglines where people can find you?
You can find me on the internet. Dollar Vigilante, Anarchast, and Acapulco.
All right. And then I think you can find us at thecryptoshow.com and
great
all of
show,
our
by the way. A lot of people don't know what a show the crypto show is. We've
had some amazing
amazing guests. If you don't know it, definitely check it out.
Yeah, luckily. So And yeah, and you were like, actually, the crypto show got its revitalization from you, actually. So the crypto show was fixing to die. They were like, fuck this, and I'm like, well, let me have a shot at this here. So I called you and I said, hey man, you want to be on tonight? And you said yeah. So and then from that point I just started hitting all my contacts and it just took off from there. Oh. So you were the first person that we had that actually turned the show around into something different.
Huh.
So
see, you don't even know. You never know what's going to happen.
All right.
But if you ever get a call from Danny, you know,
yeah,
get on the show. You know,
get on the show.
Yeah, it never hurts.
Good.
Do some stuff. Get out of your house. You know, take some chances.
Okay, yeah. Before we close out, let's go with that. Do some stuff. Don't talk about shit. Go fucking do it. All right. Yeah. No.
Enough talkers.
Less
and
talk,
they're all in the comments
more
down
doing.
Below. Talk. I don't like Jeff's shirt. Yeah, I don't like your shirt either. I can't even see you.
Quit shilling for Dash. Quit sucking up the Bitcoin cash.
Blah, we don't care.
Blah, blah,
do something.
blah.
Do something. I've never heard of you.
Get the fuck out of the sandbox and go do something, man.